Hey everyone, welcome back to Garnock Reviews, where today we're checking out Mark Zeigler's latest listing, a 2004 Albemarle 310 Express Fisherman. At the time of shooting this video, she was up for sale in Jacksonville, Florida for $139,500, and the slip that she's based in is actually transferable, so if you're interested in keeping a boat in Jacksonville, Matt can help you arrange that. This one measures in at just over 32 feet in length, with a beam of around 11 feet, and she's got a dry weight of just under 15,000 pounds. And this one is absolutely solid inside and out. For a 32-foot boat, I'd easily take this one offshore, and if you're based in Jacksonville, this would be perfect for fishing the ledge. And as you can see from the aft cockpit, this one has definitely got fishing in mind. There's rod holders everywhere. There's a rod holder along the gunnels, and there's also plenty of rod holders built into the tower. That tower also houses a flybridge, which we'll go up to in a second, but it's got perfect visibility not only forward for close quarter manoeuvring, but for keeping an eye on the aft deck so you can always back the boat up onto the catch. The aft deck's got plenty of open space. You're probably going to get 3 or 4 adults fishing here without any issues at all. And if we go along the transom, you see here that we've got a fish box. And I like the fact that it's easily accessible from either side, again if you're going to have more than one person out here fishing. And then as I move my way along, you're also noticing the starboard quarter. That's where you're going to find that transom door, so it's easy enough to bring in your larger catch. But this also doubles up as easy access from the water if you wanted to use this for diving. At the front of the cockpit, we've got a perfect bait station setup. You've got a live well on the centre line. You've got a small wash-hand basin on the starboard side. Storage underneath for tackle boxes. And then we've got another fish box or cooler on the port hand side. And note the padding that we've got surrounding the cockpit along the gunnels. That way, if you are going to be in heavy seas, if you're ever going to bang your hips into the side of it, you get plenty of protection there. We get storage underneath the gunnels for rod holders, boat hooks, things along those lines. And then on the deck itself, we've actually got a removable fish box. And that way you can put plenty of catch in here, fill it full of ice, and spend longer out at sea before having to come back home. And as I make my way into the actual cockpit itself, I love that canopy enclosure. Look how clear it is. There's no hazing, there's no issues like that. You've got perfect visibility in here, but also like the fact that you can remove this in sections. You can roll it up and you can remove it completely depending on what suits. You get comfortable seating in here, probably around 6 adults without any issue. There's storage underneath the seats. And you'll see we've got wraparound windows, and those side windows they actually do have openings as well, so you can get plenty of fresh air coming through here. I love the setup at the helm for fishing. They've got the throttle split side by side of the wheel. That way you can face the aft cockpit, keep an eye on everything, and still be able to manoeuvre the boat perfectly. And in terms of instrumentation, you've got your full engine details, as well as different bilge alarms and engine alarms. You've got Simrad autopilot. We've then got a Furuno radar above that. And then in the centre above the wheel, we've got a Furuno multifunctional display. This has got a really clear colour display to it, especially in the sunlight that I was in. You got the Furuno sounder to the left of it, and then you've got the compass overhead too. And then up top, you're also going to find we've got the VHF radio up here from ICOM. We get the Furuno GPS, the GP32, and a second backup ICOM VHF as well. And as I pan around the cockpit itself, you'll see we've got comfortable seating, but you also see we've got plenty of handhold. We've also got drinks holders, we've got speakers, and there's a lot of safety apparatus on this boat, including the fact that on the starboard side underneath those seats, that's where they keep the life jackets. We've also got a fire extinguisher mounted here. And for having this solid hardtop, there's great headroom in here. I'm 6'2" and I had absolutely no issue walking around the cockpit. Then it's only a few short steps before you're down into the lower accommodation, and even in here for a boat of this size there's great headroom. You got seating around this cockpit table that also doubles up as being an extra berth. And the seats are really comfortable. It's really thick foam padding that they have. And this table's fixed in place, but you can see from this angle there's also a large vent underneath that forward berth. And for additional ventilation we've got a large hatch overhead too. Also notice overhead we've got rod holders inside as well as outside. We've got a TV mounted on the starboard side. We've got a stereo mounted up here, and this can control the speakers inside and out. We've got a storage locker cabinet down below that TV. We've then got another storage compartment that's deck level, but this also gives you access to the bilges. And for even more storage, if I lift up the cushions to the bed itself, you'll see that pretty much the entire bed has got storage underneath. It's massive for a boat of this size. Then as I pan round, this one's got the galley, basically behind the bulkhead for the helm. To begin with, you've got storage up overhead. You've then got the granite countertop surrounding that sink. And then the door that you see here, this leads into the head compartment. And then here you'll see we've got a very similar granite countertop. You've got the toilet, you've got the shower, and you've got storage for your personal belongings. Probably a good time to point out this one's got a freshwater capacity of 30 gallons and a fuel capacity of 320 gallons. Moving back towards the galley, this one's also got a fridge down below. Keep all your cold drinks and refreshments close at hand. Plenty of power sockets throughout this boat. And then we've also got an additional storage, and this one's got the cutouts for either glasses or bottles. But also notice it's got that louver effect on the door. That way it's got fresh air and ventilation circulating in it. You don't get that dampness smell. And at the entrance to the cabin is where you're going to find your main breaker panel. This is for your AC and DC systems. And that includes the generator and also the air conditioning. And as I move out to where the helm is, if you notice there's a hatch underneath the helm seat that takes into the engine room, but there's an even better access point that we'll show you in just a second. Before going and focusing on the engines, I want to take you up to the flybridge. From up here you've got perfect visibility over those outriggers. You get safety apparatus including the man overboard recovery system. The whole framework up here is solid. Easy to climb up on, easy to hold on to. Rocket launch style rod holders, you get that bench seat that you can lean back on, perfect visibility over the aft cockpit, a life ring overhead, and it's also got a hard top, and whenever I was standing up here you had plenty of shade and protection. You got your basic engine instrumentation, you got your trim tab controls, but I was impressed to see that in front of the helm we've got the 8-person life raft, but we've also got the EPIRB that's mounted up here as well. It's a lot of safety apparatus. Somebody's put a lot of time and effort into this. So I see this one's cruised both Florida and also the Bahamas. And someone's taken safety into mind before heading offshore. And if we pop back down into the aft cockpit, I want to show you the engine room access that we have. Okay, this one really impressed me. Basically the whole entire cockpit where the helm is, it all lifts forward on hydraulics. Like literally a touch of a button. And you can lift this hatch even higher than I have, you just got to remove some of the canopy covers, but for here it just shows the benefit of it. And you'll find a pair of Caterpillar 3126 diesel engines. These are approximately 350 horsepower each, with around 1150 hours on the clock. But these engines were professionally removed and rebuilt approximately 200 hours ago, and the boat's in turnkey ready to go condition. We also have a brand new Westerbeek generator in here. Look how clean and dry the bilges are. There's no sign of any fluids, whether that's water, fuel, oil. This is an excellent offshore fishing boat that's ready to go. But as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. If you can leave a comment down below. If you haven't done so already, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, it really does make a difference. And I look forward to catching you on the next one. Thanks everyone.